I am back in Mexico. I'm back from a long 2 months. Well, it wasn't long, actually, it went by very quickly. But a 2 month stay in the United States. I was in Philadelphia. I had to get the rest of my things and tie up some loose ends. Um, we had a service for my mom. Some of you know my mom passed um, in May around the time that I had to leave Mexico. So we handled that. I was able to pack up all my things and get them back out here to Mexico. While in Philadelphia, I got to hang out with some of my girlfriends. We had some great times. Um, Rekindled a old romance, so that was fun. In fact, he's going to come out to visit. I also took that time to go visit my doctor, my primary doctor, just to make sure that I'm still okay. And my report was good. I'm still. She said you're fairly healthy. You're still very healthy, And she said that. Well, I don't know. Some of you don't know that I have. I have to get my knees replaced one day. One day I'm gonna let that happen. One day, maybe. But she's like always trying to encourage me to get it done because you're still healthy. While you're still healthy, you should get it done. I'm hoping to get to the point where I can go ahead and get stem cells done. I'm just not ready for anything foreign to be put into my knee yet. I'm just not ready, I'm not ready for that operation. I'm not ready for the downtime, and I have to get both knees done. But anyway, I digress. I went to see my doctor, and everything is good. Something did happen while I was in Philadelphia. I did get a packet from Social Security. And the timing was really good because had I been in Mexico, I would not have seen this packet. Well, my roommates would have let me know that it was there. But yeah, I got this packet from them. They wanted, apparently Social Security is trying to crack down on what is it? Overpayment. Social Security is trying to crack down on overpayment. So the packet they sent me, they wanted to know about my income in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Now, I file my taxes every year, and along with all my schedules and all my deductions and everything. But okay, they wanted to know that. And another thing, I didn't get on Social Security until December 2021. So why they needed to know about what months I got paid in 2020 and the early part of 2021 is beyond me. I filled it out to the best of my ability, so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned on that one. But in the meantime, I am following my own advice, the same advice that I gave to the other people the other people who've been following me, who decided to go ahead and complete that assessment. I followed the same advice. I went on and completed that assessment for me too. And I am learning ways every day, ways to turn my skills and my gifts and the things that I want to do into an income for me. So that's what I've been working on, and it's not been in vain. I've actually have clients now, so that's a good thing. And I'm finding other ways, so I'm just doing it. I'm just gonna keep doing it and find other ways. And I hope you guys consider to do the same, because as I said before, and I'm gonna keep preaching this, we can't retire on Social Security. We cannot. We cannot have the kind of income where somebody can just like push a button and it's over. Like, you can't. That's not going to be okay. And I don't mean over like the world is over. I mean push a button and Social Security no longer exists. We can't go out like that. Let's see. And then I wanted to okay, so before I left Philadelphia, my girlfriends decided to give me a going away dinner out. Okay, so we went to this lovely restaurant. We had a wonderful meal. I had a burger with crab meat on top of it. It sounds so decadent. it was good. It was good. I think it might have been too much flavor there. I think I would have just rather had the crab meat or the burger. But it was a beautiful environment. It was an outdoor cafe, and we had lots of laughs. And then they took me to this neighborhood bar and proceeded to get me tore up from the floor up. Now, mind you, I was on my way back to Mexico the very next day. In fact, it would have been like 5 o'clock that morning, okay? I'm out there with them hanging out, and I still have a few hours to finish packing and doing what I need to do, take a few hours nap, and get up at 3 o'clock a.m. so I can be at the airport at 5 in the morning, and I'm out here drinking with them, okay? So, needless to say, when I got back to the house, I took a nap, woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, still drunk and hungover. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I can't be in the airport right now. I can't do this. I can't function, right? What am I gonna do? And I thought about it, I was like, okay, I don't have that kind of ticket where you can exchange it without paying a fee. Like, what am I going to do, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to have to talk to somebody. I'm going to have to find a way to appeal to somebody's compassion and give me a different date to fly out, okay? So I looked at my emails, and I looked at my email so I can find my confirmation number. I wanted to have that so I can, talk to somebody about giving me a different date. And as I looked at my email, the email said, due to hazardous conditions, you are able to change your dates at no cost to you. So I called them. I was trying to do it online, it wasn't working, so I called, it was American Airlines, and they said, you got a 15-minute wait. Now here I am still tore up from the floor up and experiencing a hangover. But I stayed on that phone. That 15 minutes. I fell asleep. She would say hello. It woke me up, and we talked about it, and I was able to schedule my flight 2 days later. I went to sleep and I slept the entire day. I just laid in that bed the entire day. Very next day, I finished packing, and same time, I was able to go to sleep and then wake up and at the airport, 5 o'clock in the morning, brown-eyed and bushy-tailed, like I was ready. So, all that was going well, going real smooth, getting through Philadelphia International Airport. Then eventually I got to Dallas. All that was smooth. And then I flew into Lyon. Everybody told me to go into Lyon because it's a smaller airport and you have more of a chance of getting 180 days if you go into Lyon. So I did that, right? I went into Lyon. When I got there, I told her how many days I wanted. I said I wanted 180 days, right? The immigration lady. And she wrote something in my passport, and she closed it. She handed it to me and said, have a good time in Mexico, right? Now, my experience has taught me that you always, before leaving, look at what they wrote down in your passport. So when I looked at it, she put 45 days. So then I had to walk back over to her, and I said, excuse me, I asked for 180 days, and then she wanted to know why I wanted 180 days. Then I had to talk to her supervisor, and then another supervisor came over, and we discussed back and forth, and they wanted to know if I have enough money to be able to stay there. So I had to really explain to them, listen, I do have the money to stay here. I have friends here. I'm going to be fine. It's like, this is how much I bring in Social Security. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do the last time that I didn't get to do this time, so, and they eventually just said, okay. And they gave me my passport. They gave me 180 days. So I have 180 days. I am here until January. So as I said before, I'm going to have to find another way to get residency, either through financial solvency or something. Now, I've been hearing some things, and it sounds pretty hopeful, so I will keep you posted. After I finally got through that, I called the Uber, so it can take me, back to take me to my apartment. I had luggage, so I didn't really want to take the bus. So the guy's calling me from Uber, but he's telling me to meet him over at OXOX. I think that's, or is it XOXO? One of those type of stores that are always all over Mexico. I think it's either OXOX or XOXO. I'll write it in the somewhere once I figure out what it is. But I'm thinking, well, where's that at? I've never been to this airport. Where's the store at? And I have 3 things of rolling luggage. Like, I don't feel like all this, right? Why are you just here, right? So eventually I see him walking over, and he explains to me that Uber drivers aren't allowed to pick up passengers there, and if he had done that, they would have taken his car. So I said, okay, so where's your car? So we get to walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. I swear, it was about 2 or 3 blocks later, we're in his car. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm thinking, I'm going through a lot to get back to Mexico, okay? Like, this is not working, and this is not working, right? So I get back to Mexico. I get to my apartment. I'm so excited. I'm at my apartment, and I'm excited, but I'm exhausted about, what I went through. And so I go ahead and, I did speak to my neighbor. I was very happy to see her. She lives upstairs. Of course, I went up there to see her. And then I had contacted my other neighbor who wasn't home yet. And he sent me a video showing me that somebody was trying to break into our fortress. So I'm like, okay, wait. Wait. I felt so safe here now. You're telling me somebody tried to break in, and he showed me a camera. He showed me the image. So that wasn't great. So then I went to lay down, and I wasn't feeling safe that night. My neighbor, his name is Dennis. He wasn't around. Elaine, she's older than me. What's she gonna do for me? And all the tenants were brand new. Like, I don't know none of these people. Like, I was not, I was starting to feel like, wait a minute, is this like that saying you can't go home? Like, was I supposed to stay in Philly? Like, I was not happy about that. Maybe I was overreacting, and I guess from all the experiences and things that happened in Philadelphia and around, and everything that was happening, it seemed like in such a short period of time, with so many ups and downs and changes, and my mom and all that, I'm just like feeling kind of, anxious. But I eventually do go to sleep, and I wake up the next day, and I'm ready to take a shower, and there was no hot water. There was no hot water. And so I'm like on the phone texting my landlord, like, there's no hot water, what's going on? And then, I pull out my computer, my laptop, and I'm going to do some work, and I didn't have any Wi-Fi. Now, while I was paying the rent the entire time, I was paying for the Wi-Fi too. I'm back on the phone. Why is my Wi-Fi not working? I've been paying you. And she was like, I'll check on it. So all those things, even though it was a lot going on, they got resolved like instantly. All right, so I have to kudos to my landlord. They took care of that quick. And then about the robbery, Dennis did eventually get home, and he explained to me what was really going on. They were taking something from an old car that he had outside, and they were trying to take the camera that was on the, that he was able to video them trying to take something. It was that. They were trying to take that camera. They weren't trying to actually get into our fortress. And he assured me, he's a Mexican who lives here, he's lived here all his life. He assured me that they weren't trying to come in here because they know that there's people who live here. And I then got to meet my neighbors, and, as days went by, I started to really settle into my place again, and I started playing music and decorating, and just, I started to love it again. So that was an experience. When I did get back, it did cost me a lot of money, doing this, traveling this way. So when I did get back, I didn't have a lot to go out and enjoy myself like I like to do here in San Miguel. So it kind of forced me to be still, which was good because I was able to work on my program more. Um, I was able to work on my business idea more, so that was really good. Um, but as soon as as soon as I was able to make some money, I was able to do some things. And of course, I started off at my favorite cafe. Well, one of my favorite cafes. I got a lot of favorite cafes here, but one of my favorite cafes in the Biblioteca. I ended up there, and there I met this really interesting man, and we got to talking, about, loving living in San Miguel, but being conscious or trying to be conscious of not being a part of the problem as far as gentrification. And it was a great conversation. We vibed really well. I told him about my desire to get residency. He and his partner had gotten residency over 14 years ago. And I was telling him, yeah, well, for me to get it now, I have to net $4,300 a month. And he was like, that is so outrageous. You don't need that much to live here. And so I told him that I help business owners, entrepreneurs, get a online digital presence. I build websites, I do social media marketing. And it was interesting, after that conversation, he said, well, I'm an artist and I'm looking for someone who can build my website and give me my social media presence that I need. And so that was really, what is it, like a divine moment right there. And he had some courses coming up. So of course I'm going to take those courses, a drawing course and a book, a scrapbook course. So, they're not too expensive. The drawing course is 200 pesos, which is equivalent a little over $10 for the course, and it's a 2-hour course. The scrapbook is a little more, and it's more material involved, and it's 4 hours, and it was 800 pesos, but he went down to 750, which is equivalent to about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, maybe about $37, something like, maybe 40, that was a little high, but if, I'm going to invest because this guy might end up being a client, so it's definitely worth me taking advantage of that. All right, and then today I was able to get with the ladies of San Miguel, and they have a monthly brunch that they do at different locations, different restaurants. We all get together and we meet a lot of new people too, and it's wonderful. We talk about how much we love San Miguel, we talk about traveling, and a lot of these folks that meet with us, they're not necessarily moving to San Miguel. They travel, they go to other places, and so they end up hooking up with us, and we get to break bread and learn about each other, and it's a really wonderful, amazing experience. And so we got to do that today. And the person who hosts this event every month, she's the owner of Casa Elm. Casa Elm is the place that I've talked about, the home that I've talked about so affectionately. That's where I learned about San Miguel de Allende, and back in 2022, I went to her home for a relocation tour at Casa Elm. Well, she stays committed to the group, keeps us connected and let us know what's going on. But yeah, so every month she hosts this get together. And so it was really nice to be there with the ladies. So yeah, today was a great day. I've had many great, I know through this video you might be hearing these bombs going on. Somebody is celebrating something. I don't think it's a holiday. I looked it up. I was trying to figure it out because it's been going on for 3 days. But somebody's celebrating, is it birthday or a wedding or it's some type of celebration going on. So you hear this from time to time. You get used to it though. And it's not really, really noisy. Like you'll hear some bombs going off, but there's lots of dogs around here, but you don't hear any of them barking. Well, now I do, but earlier they weren't even barking. So it's not. They'll do this for a little while, and then they'll stop, usually respectfully around 10 p.m., something like that. So it's okay. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I met someone today who listens, who follows me on my channel. She was at the brunch, and if you're seeing this, then you know I'm talking to you. I would love to contact you. There's so many questions that I had for you that I didn't get a chance to ask you because I was so busy trying to figure out how to get my Uber ride from the restaurant without Wi-Fi. So that was on my mind. But you know who you are. Please, in the comments, let me know it's you, and I want to find a way to get a private message to you because I'd like to talk to you about something. I didn't get a chance to. So I guess that's really pretty much it what's going on. I'll be back with a new video. I want to focus on finding what your skills are, what your strengths, what's your gifts, and focus on how do we monetize it. I want to focus on ways that people are monetizing their money abroad. Here in San Miguel, everybody's doing it in so many creative ways. There's so much opportunity to earn your own income while abroad. So I want to kind of stay there and talk a lot more about that because while everything is working out for me, or appears to be, you know, I still have a group of people who are here following me who would like to get some direction or some answers or some guidance or something. And so I want to continue to share that. I want to continue to research it and find a way to deliver it to you in a way that's going to be beneficial. So yeah, this was a good day, and thanks for hanging in there with me, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day, evening. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches.